All right, what's up, everyone? We have a success case with one of my amazing clients, Aaron. We've been working for, I think, since August. So he did the
hmm
program and he has a lot of cool stuff to share with you. It's going to be a quick interview just to talk about his experiences. And let's start with introduction. So tell us a little bit more about yourself, and we'll go with the questions and just make it a fun interview.
so yeah, my name's Aaron. I don't have an actual like music producer name yet. I think I'm still in like the learning stage, but I've been learning music production for about 2 years now. And like Vlad said, um, I joined about August, and just like the amount of progress we made in like about 3 months was like probably the most I've learned over those 2 years in that like shortest period of time. And especially like at the point when I joined, like I had already gone through a bunch of other classes and stuff online. So I had a lot of the fundamental knowledge, and just like that personalized one-on-one help was really good. Yeah.
Right, right. So let's dive deep into the situation. So, can you describe the situation before joining the program? So, what problems did you have?
I think the biggest problem was just realizing that the music I was making, like regardless of how much time I spent on it, I couldn't get it to sound like right, or at least like not like muddy or flat. It's sort of like you could tell that someone sort of amateur produced it, and it was very frustrating because I felt like melodically I had everything in there, but it just wasn't coming out the right way. So it was sort of this cycle I was going through for a while, and then I was like, fuck, I just need to work with someone, which is why I reached out to Vlad. And I think like even from the first few meetings, there was a lot of low hanging fruit that he was able to like quickly correct. I was able to implement, and I was like able to like really see quick, tangible progress. And that sort of just continued a lot. And I think, yeah, it was just this like frustration of not knowing what to do, but realizing that what I was making wasn't good, which was pretty, hard cycle to break out of. And that helped me like get out of that cycle.
What was the turning point, and why did you decide to join the program?
I think again, doubling down on the frustration. That's like I think a big thing for a lot of people learning this stuff on their own. Like there's so many resources out there that it's hard to figure out like what specifically you need to apply to your songs and stuff, especially like when you see people doing stuff on YouTube. It often like looks super easy. And then you try and replicate it and you're like, this sounds like ass. Like, what am I doing wrong? And it just like ends up making you feel like maybe you're not good enough, or there's a whole slew of mental shit that comes with that. And I think I just got to the point where I realized my progress was stagnating a lot. Like I was like really good at the beginning, learning a lot, and then it was sort of like flattening out. And I was like, I'm just frustrated. I'm not making progress. I need to work with someone. And like I saw your videos online, and I was like, I really like how you're explaining this shit. Like you obviously have like a very deep understanding and an intuitive way of explaining it. So I was like, it seems natural. I want to reach out and work with this person, get some help, and it worked out. So good
Nice,
point, good
nice,
choice.
perfect, perfect. That's super good. Super good. What was your favorite part of the program when we started working together? What did you like the most?
Honestly, like this isn't a technical thing. I think just like the talks we had, like I think because I don't have like any other music producer friends, this was sort of like the first time I had like a one-on-one conversation with someone about music, and like just hearing you talk about the struggle of how hard it is and how much you have to like push through like the I guess really it takes a lot of motivation to like learn this shit, especially on your own when you're not in a school. You don't really have like this structured thing. Even then, I imagine it's still pretty hard. Just like hearing someone who knows this shit explain like, oh yeah, it's normal what you're going through, and really like helped me deal with like the imposter syndrome that I had, like perfectionism, all these things that are like really common. You read about on Reddit all the time. Having like a dedicated person, and it took like I think like months of conversation to really like dive into this stuff. So it's not something like you can expect to work out in like a meeting and just have someone tell you like, oh, it's normal. Like it's more than that. And I feel like that wasn't something I was expecting to get out of it, but it was still something that helped me immensely.
I love
Yeah,
the like the mindset and mental conversations. That wasn't just like
yeah,
about music. That was like so much about like mindset, spirituality,
mhm,
lifestyle, finding your purpose,
yeah,
finding motivation, that stuff. And I very often like I discuss this stuff with my clients because I'm like mixing. I mean, obviously I'm a music producer and everything that we do is like is related to music production. My channel is dedicated to it, but like I'm a big guy on, spirituality, mindset, health, like all that stuff that I'm incorporating a little bit in the person, like
yeah.
one-on-ones, might be doing that a little bit more in the content, just see how we can do it. um what would you say makes the program different from other courses you've taken online?
Yeah, so I guess I probably shouldn't like name the course, but
No, no,
there's a lot of
no.
like popular.
It's okay.
I Yeah, there's a lot of courses out there that you see on Reddit and stuff. You get ads for on Instagram. I've taken like a handful of those, and I think the biggest thing is that it's hard to like actually apply those to your own song because ultimately, or your own music, like all that stuff, it sort of makes sense in my head. Like I can like wrap my head around it, but it didn't really map one to one over to my music where I was like, okay, I'm doing this. Like I'm literally following this video. I've spent hours on this course. Like I feel better, but like, or I feel like I know more, but it's not really like making that much of a big effect on my music. And I think the one-on-one aspect of just having you really dig into the stuff and like tell me specifically like, oh yeah, this is what you need to do, and then actually like see you do it to my song and I guess hear in real time like how much of an impact that like changed and made it more clear. That was really eye-opening. And I think the biggest takeaway I got from like this over the 3 months was that was like really overcomplicating this shit. Like definitely there's a level of complexity to music production, but I feel like it like seeing how quickly like you work and stuff and just the way you like were able to make change in a song, like it really changed my perspective. It's like it is complicated, but it's also not like you don't need to make it like so fucking extreme and stuff. Yeah.
It is complicated, but it is not. When you really go to the
Yeah.
fundamentals, to the basics,
Hmm.
you do the basics, and then everything else, it's just like 20%. It's like an icing on a
Hmm.
cake. It's cool, cool, cool. Can you describe the results you got after joining the program, after doing the program? No, no, no. Can you describe the results you got after joining the program? How quick was the progress? So this is, I think, more like how we did it and how you were feeling the progress, not so much about like when you completed in the process.
Hmm.
Like how quick were you able to get the results, like feel tangible progress?
Oh, I mean, I think from the, like I said earlier, even from the first meeting, I think the first meeting was when you like I came to my tracks and you literally spent like the first meeting going through and showing me like with these like very small adjustments we can make it sound like so much cleaner. So I mean that was very eye-opening, but like picking up on like the small techniques and actually applying them to my stuff like from the beginning again, like what I said, there were a lot of things I was like doing incorrectly. I think I was even doing side chaining incorrectly. Some like I like there's things like that and stuff that like it was very what was the word I'm looking for? It was very like mentally just nice being able to like immediately apply the techniques you taught me after our session and be like, oh shit, this actually does work. Now I know what I was missing. And just like filling in those gaps. And like even like I said earlier, the like I can listen to my old songs now and I can like actually pinpoint specifically what's wrong with them. And like you like help me, I guess, listen out like for specific things. Cause I feel like especially when you're beginning, like you can tell that your song or your track sounds bad, but it's hard to like pinpoint like exactly why it's bad and how you fix that. And I feel like the stuff we've done, like you walking through my tracks and then your tracks and showing me like the difference, all these little things you did, it really like it was basically like really good ear training practice.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good. Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I think it's also like a big thing, not knowing what is wrong, not knowing what I need to do to
yeah,
to to fix the
mhm,
thing. Because I experienced that myself, when I was a beginner, when I was like intermediate, and up till like 1 year ago, like I was already coaching people because like I'll just be like upfront, like I was coaching people. Like I started my big program like a bit more than a year ago. almost 2 years ago. And I was like a pro, but there was still some of the things I was like, kind of not sure. But I think like it's just like this year where like I finally feel like everything is sold. Like everything is sold. I have everything covered like in music. And from there, this is just like the creative developments and not so much like technical. I mean, obviously, like I don't know, like everything, and I'm keen on like learning new stuff, but it's like eventually like you get at the point where it's like, everything after that is just like a
Yeah.
bonus. It's a bonus thing. It's just like developing. It's like good enough for, like consumers, for producers, for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
But just like if you have this little bitch perfectionist inside of yourself, we all
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
We all have it. We all
Yeah.
have it. So yeah, just for me, it's just like improve and develop as an artist. How do you feel now after completing the program, and what are your goals and plans for 2025?
No, we were just talking about this, but for the video, it's like night and day. Like the point at which I joined you, I was frustrated and like I'm not understanding this. I legitimately didn't know like what to do with my I was just like I hit a wall and I was like frustrated. I was like, fuck, I just need help. And I feel like now I have like a very clear direction. Like this year my goal was like I want to get more practice, like making songs. I want to get like just better at making shit quickly and have it like sound decent. And I feel like now, like 2025, it's about like less than a month away. I'm like really like lined up and ready to like start releasing shit next year.
Yeah.
So like the biggest thing is just like mindset wise, I'm like I'm excited about music again, and that's like a really good feeling to have because I mean that's the
Yeah.
ultimately the reason I got into this.
Let's
Yeah,
go. Let's go. 2025 is going to be big because I'm also building some
okay,
shit community. We still,
yeah,
I started a course. So like we have like, I'm finally like
hmm
growing the thing, but it's like obviously like one-on-ones that I do with my clients, but also the community thing, like the course and everything. Cause I think I wanted to create it for like such a long time back in 2021, but I just didn't feel like I was good enough and I had all the systems in place. But it's like
uh-huh.
I think this is 2025 is going to be big. It's going to be big. We have two
hmm
two more things. What would you say to other producers trying to learn everything by themselves?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I mean, I don't think it's realistic to say it's impossible. But it's going to be very, very frustrating, take a very long time, and I think like again, going back to the example of me like getting frustrated with my own music, like I spent like so many weeks just tweaking shit, trying to like figure out like what is wrong with this. And then like going from that, like spending weeks trying to get it right to like a session with you, which is like literally an hour and seeing like, okay, this is exactly what you need to change and do this. It's just like it's saving you so much time, like mental stress and stuff. It's like if you feel like burnt out, I'd say like that's probably a good indicator that working with someone can like be honestly like a really big benefit. Or if you just feel like you've hit a technical wall and you're not really sure like what to work on, even if you're like just starting out, like realistically, it's probably like gonna save you a shit ton of time. Like you can go find stuff on YouTube, but I think after like any music producers like trying to learn and it's done that for like 3 months is gonna like realize that it's kind of hard to learn off YouTube. Like it's a lot of scattered knowledge everywhere. It's also hard to figure out like out of all that knowledge, what's actually good. And then even more so, like out of all that knowledge, like what's actually relevant to the shit I'm applying. So there's like multiple layers of this shit you need to filter down. So I mean you can do it, but again, it's hard to take a long time. It's frustrating.
I would
So
add from my own experience. So okay, I am an example where I did some courses, but I spent
mhm,
almost 10 years doing this shit. And I was very
mhm,
lucky because I had like thousands of hours to spend on music. Because at the time, like a few years
mhm,
ago, I already started a YouTube
yeah,
channel. So I was already kind of doing like music production, like full time, like half like full time, part time. So I had that time. But think about like if that took me almost 9 years and I was putting shit ton of time, shit ton of like my mental resources. Sometimes I was
yeah,
producing like not gonna lie, 6 maybe to 8 hours per day. I mean, not every day, but like for
yeah,
real, sometimes it's just like whole day, just music production, right?
yeah,
But the
yeah,
question is, do you have this time? I work with some clients who be like, it's funny. Some people are producing longer than I, like longer than me, but they don't sound as good. They don't know as much. People produce like for 10, 15 years, and I coach. I coach like all the time. I coach people, and most of my clients are old. I'm 25, but I coach guys like
Mhm.
in 30s, in 40s, 40 plus, my age. It's funny, right? Like, okay, so what do you value more? Like, do you value time or do you value like you yeah, do you value money or your time? Like you can do it yourself,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna lie, like from my experience, would I want to go through that once again? It's tough. It's like probably
I don't know.
not. Like I'm just thinking at how much
Yeah.
shit I dealt with. It was like so tough. Sometimes I'm like, would I go through that one more time? It's like you have to be like fucking exceptional. Like you have to
Yeah.
really want it if you want to do it yourself. So like from here, like it's your choice. And it's not even guaranteed, as I say, because again, I had people make music 10 plus years and they still like struggle with basic stuff. So it's like you can make it yourself, but you can save so much time and
Mhm.
money, resources, even health, because you're not
Yeah.
stressing so much. Okay, and I think we have the last question, and that's it. Would you recommend this program to other producers? What would you say to people who are on the fence and are really sure if they need some sort of like one-on-one this kind of coaching?
Yeah, I guess just being like trying to be objective. I'd say just like take an honest look at where you are and then like where you want to be. If you're like just starting out and you're like, oh, should I be coaching? Maybe like try it on your own for like a few months, figure out. I think like just from like I guess what we were talking about and like the shit I read online, I think most people end up hitting a wall like a
Yeah.
few months or a year into it. So I think if you're at that point, like you've gone over the basics, you know all this stuff, but you still realize that you're not like there, then that's probably a good indicator that, yeah, I think honestly, even if you're on the fence, that's probably a good indicator that you should make the jump because I mean, you obviously are on the fence for a reason.
Exactly.
And again, I think the time thing is just such a big like reason to just like do it because like it doesn't really matter how much time you spend like learning this shit. It matters like whether or not that time you spend is actually helping you. So like I spent like again using the same example like 2 weeks trying to fix my shit. That wasn't really that useful compared to like a 1 hour session. So
Yeah.
again, that's like 2 weeks an hour, but the hour is more useful. So you know, I guess
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. This is something that I experienced myself. I would say that the clients that get best results, like my clients, are usually the ones like
Mhm,
who know the basics. I mean, yes, I could coach you if
mhm,
you are a complete beginner, but honestly, it wouldn't be like a good use of your
yeah.
money. So try to get the basics done, at least be able to make
Mhm,
beats, basses, melodies, the basic stuff. So I don't have to like walk you through this. And from here, because most of my clients are like intermediate producers. Yes, I do
mhm.
work with beginners, some of the guys, but not beginners, like when you know like shit about music. Like not the basics, just be
Uh,
like few months in, like 1, 2, like even like
yeah,
3 months in. It's like already enough. You spend some time, you just show to yourself, hey, like I'm serious about it. And then
yeah.
we can just go from here. All right. I think that's it. Anything else that you want to add on top of that? Any thoughts, any comments, anything on top of your mind? Because that's all the questions, really. We covered everything.
Yeah, just it was a very good experience. I think it was by far the most useful like online course and like the online like music production learning thing I've taken. So I mean I also think like the mental health stuff we talked about before, it's like there's like no one really talks about that much. Like we know it's hard and everyone's like, oh shit, my music sucks and stuff. But really just like hearing like someone who's like gone through this shit and is in a successful position now, it really does help a lot. And I just like compared myself coming into the program versus leaving out, like not
Yeah.
even technical stuff, even though like technical stuff is like improved a lot. Like just even just for like the mental stuff to help me like actually like push through all this stuff. I mean, it's been like night and day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna brag and swag a little bit so people
Yeah.
get offended of my ego because I'm a cool dude.
Uh-huh.
I have big balls. I can be myself on camera for real. But you want to learn from someone who has the results that you want, and you want to learn from
Mhm.
someone who knows like what are you talking about and who's done this shit. Like I'm making music full
Yeah.
time. My clients get successes all the time. My clients get amazing results. My clients are happy. Literally never had a client who was not satisfied as long as they were committed and as long as they were serious, and that was really the thing that they wanted to do. Of course, I had some people throwing shit at me, but then to be honest, they just didn't do anything. They weren't even serious, and then they were complaining. But it's normal, like in any industry. Like 80 to 90% of my clients are like all are happy, all are getting results. Like I'm making music that I'm proud of. Like I have everything. So like learn from the guy that you resonate with, because maybe like I'll be honest, maybe I'm not a good fit for you, maybe because I'm tough. Like I'm gonna be like
Mm,
relentless when it comes to this, and I'm gonna hold you accountable because I have like no
mm,
time for bullshit. Like if you think it's like games for kids, no, this is like real fucking school of life. And
mm,
music as well, not like for real, because my goal is to like give you like make you a beast. My goal is to make you a beast so you can do music full time, so you can get the results. And I think also like a big part of what I'm doing is the post support like from my clients, because like for me it's not just like we did the coaching and that's it. Like I like keeping relationships. I'm building a
yeah,
community.
yeah,
So this is like, like all my clients, if they need something from me, like after that, they have my number, they could reach out to me. And for me, this is also cool. It's like, like you can make friends online. You don't have to be limited. Like I made so many friends like online with people who like I never like saw in real life, but like we have like this
mm,
connection, this relationship, because we
yeah.
like I helped you with something, you know something about me, like you understand me as a person, and this is pretty cool. So the next step is like the post support, the community is like I have everything. So yeah, if you join, I
Mm,
mean, really like I have again, I'm gonna be bold and I'm gonna say like if you join, this is like gonna be the best fucking course like on the whole like internet. Like there's no one better than I. Like really, I have enough confidence and enough balls to make these kind of claims. Like I'm gonna be telling this like all the time. And this is the confidence because you can read the energy. Like in the past, I would be not very confident, but even like on this video, like I can be my authentic self, and this is the most authentic delivery today, like on the 6th of December of 2024. In a month that might change, but this is me. Like you like me or you don't like me. So if you don't like me, just don't work with me.
mm,
But people tend to like me because I'm real. I'm just real. I'm just real and honest. This is, I think, one of my authentic traits. Okay, Aaron. So this is going to be it for interview. I really appreciate your time. That was really good to
mm.
hear your experience. So we are ending the interview here, and I hope you guys enjoy watching the interview.